Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. So, Karl Jobst is back with another pointless video on Billy Mitchell, because at this point, after losing this bad, what are you doing? First of all, one thing that he started this video with is actually taking accountability for all the bad decisions he made and try to give an excuse of why he made them at the time. Wow, they say... looking backwards is 2020, right? Oh, geez. If only he would have apologized. Another point that he made is Billy Mitchell ended up losing money on this deal. Well, let me tell you, anybody that knows Billy Mitchell, anybody that's been following the story, everybody knows this wasn't about the money. This is about punishing you for what you did, for trying to get views, for making up crap, because you straight up made it up. And this whole thing exposed you from being an absolute legend, which is a line that you took from Apollo, and then you used it to capitalize after his passing in order to build your career. Everything that you are, you took from Apollo after he was gone. You wanted that. And look where it got you, right? Blaming people that had nothing to do with it, right? For his passing, right? You didn't mention your buddies. This was all punishment. It was never about the money. It was about opening your mouth, putting it right to the curb, and stomping on your head. That's what it was about. Number one. Number two, you should just stay quiet. Really, you should have just stayed quiet. This man has some of the worst hobbies that you could have as a human being. One of them is picking fight with the litigious people that have more money than you. Another hobby he has is arguing with lawyers, right? And he has lust estrangement syndrome in this video. Spent probably the last part of it just railing against lust, who, many times they're just using your own words from Discord. Oh, they were just facetious. They were just ironic. Shut up. You shouldn't have been talking. You should have listened to your lawyers. Can't blame anybody else. This is a point, guys, where if you get so humiliated, right, in court that you end up with $1,800 after a bankruptcy, and the court gives you mercy, they won't even take your money because they feel sorry for your ass because that's all you have. At that point, it's a really good point for you to reflect on your life and actually admit that maybe at this time you should just shut the fuck up. Right? If you lose that badly that you go bankrupt, you would think that would be enough. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not good at this shit. Let me just stop talking about this stuff. Let somebody else do it because I'm not good at it. I keep losing money at this stuff and ruin my life pretty much. At least for the next 3 years. Everything that I do could be influenced greatly by another man. That's where you put yourself in, right? But anyway, he decided to make this video. And by doing that, he just kept the story going where, most people aren't even talking about it. Nobody's making videos on Karl Jobst anymore about this stuff. Nobody's talking about it. I'm not taking time out of my day to do it. But here I am in the Philippines, my vacation. I'm going to the office. I'm doing a little prospecting out here. And, it was, I had to listen to this update video from Karl Jobst because I'm so invested in the story while I'm driving through traffic and sitting here. And man, it was quite a chore, let me tell you. It's a long video, and it was pretty much pointless, just going over everything, saying things that he should have said way before, not ending up bankrupt, at this point in his life. It's just, if he would have done all these things, can you imagine if he would have just said he was sorry at the very beginning and just say, Billy, I did it for the views. I wanted to embellish the story. And at the same time, I didn't want to throw the real blame on the people that Apollo actually blamed him. But when something starts off crooked, it always ends up crooked, guys. Karma is a bitch, right? And the one thing I discovered following this story is, the tragic passing of this young man and the way people took from him is probably the for me still what sticks out the most. Karl Jobst' idea for making videos, Karl Jobst' tagline, directly ripped off, in my opinion, from Apollo. And I think anybody with a pair of eyes can see that, right? They took this young man at his lowest, kicked him down when him and his friends, right? Because he was thinking about making a video. Him and his friends went at him when the man was at his lowest and took his ideas for videos, and one Karl Jobst made a career of it, right? Speedrunner, cheaters, and all this stuff, Billy Mitchell stuff, and he was never going to go down. And remember, he was even posting on Apollo Legends YouTube channel. Well, karma came to collect. And here you are. This guy is like the guy that gets gets completely knocked out in a fight, gets the snot beating out of him. And then he gets up and he's still talking shit like he could have kept on going. No, you lost. You lost. There's nothing redeemable here. Everything you did was wrong, right? And if you want to, make yourself look better by making other people look like crap, it's not going to work. Especially not on Billy Mitchell, right? Because Billy Mitchell persona was built on being the bad guy, right? If anything, for a lot of us, Billy Mitchell didn't go far enough. We wished he would have been more evil. But in your case, you built this fake facade about being this great guy, while in the background, you got Cornhub going on. You're taking, Apollo's ideas and running with them. You're doing all this other Discord crap. And as people find out, that's what tarnished your brand, according to you. And I don't even know that you have a brand. It's not like you have a hot sauce or anything, right? But the damage that's been done is by you. Nothing's been more damaging than your Discord account. And you refuse to shut it down. That's where everybody got to really know your humor, know your extracurricular hobbies, terabytes of corn, your preferences, all that stuff came from you. And here you are shooting vitriol at Lus. And I want to say, from listening to Lus over a long period of time, mostly he was just reading right off whatever the hell you wrote. And now you're mad at him? You're mad at him? Like I said, this guy's got some bad hobbies. Picking fights with rich people and picking fights with lawyers and not listening to them. It was never about the money. This guy's going on some sort of win. Oh, Billy's never going to get his money back. It's not about the money. It's about the fact that Billy Mitchell gets to roast you forever. Exposed you for what you did, and you have to own it. And even when you forget, just like you were going to make 1,000 videos and you told him you were never going to let him live this down or never forget, that's what he's doing to you. And here you are crying like a bitch. Ha, ha, ha. Karma's a bitch, man. I hope somewhere up there, Apollo is smiling. All right, humans. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.